Okay, this is my diagram of the cell, and as you can see, I've done a cuboidal cell. You can kind of tell that by its slightly square shape. So, first part I'm going to talk about is the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, right around here, and as I put right here, the cell membrane. Now, the cell membrane, it defines and protects the cell, and it helps control what goes in and what goes out of the cell. The next thing is the cytosol. So the cytosol is basically all this white space. Cytosol is basically fluid, or to be more specific, intercellular fluid. Now, all the cell contents and all the organelles are basically just floating around in the fluid, or the cytosol. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the cell nucleus. That is that big brown thing in here. So the cell nucleus is generally, but not always, in the front and the center of the cell. It's basically the control center for the cell, and it is where DNA is stored. Now, some components of the nucleus that I are going to talk about is, first, the nuclear envelope, and that is basically the membrane that surrounds the nucleus. Now, the next component is this little black dot right in the center. That is the nucleolus, and the nucleolus makes something called lysosomes, makes ribosomes. That's an important distinction. These things right over here. That we're going to talk about in a moment. But the nucleolus makes ribosomes that go in the rough endoplasmic reticulum and in the cytosol. It also reads genetic material and produces peptides and proteins. So that brings us to, since we already mentioned the ribosomes,